Well, look at that! Somebody found himself Photoshop and now he wants to jump right into it and create some really dank work. But how are we gonna go about it? I mean, Photoshop has a whole lot of options, a whole lot of sliders and numbers and pictures, and where do I even goddamn start? Well, don't be discouraged, don't get stupid ideas, and don't let people benefit of the results of your stupid ideas caused by your discouragement. Because I am here, and I'm here to help. So I took some time out of my busy schedule and show you lads a couple of ways in which you can tackle coloration in Photoshop. Before we go on, I want to make it abundantly clear, but this video is not dealing with the fundamentals of art, less of all color theory. This is all about the more technical side and how you can approach coloration in Photoshop. On top of that, I can hardly recommend enough to actually look into color theory. With all that shit out of the way, let's jump right in. One way to color your work is to start with a grayscale image first, and blocking in the colors you want by creating new layers later. Personally, I love to approach my digital paintings in this manner, because in this stage, really all I have to think about is things such as contrast, composition, the general design, and the lighting. Not having to worry about colors right from the get-go makes a massive difference in the way how you approach your painting. It also gives you the freedom to later on experiment with many different color schemes and see whichever works best for the design. After you're done with the grayscale painting, you simply create a new layer. There we go. And choose one of the many different blending modes that you have available. Have a blocking in colors, multiply is usually the best way to go about it. Layers are all independent individual paintings that, once applied on top of each other, make up the final image. With the help of layer modes, we can change the way how these layers interact with each other. For example, if our blending mode for the new layer was normal, then we would simply paint over the grayscale image that we already had. But since it is set on multiply, the colors are blending in to the grayscale image that we have created beforehand. The best thing about all of this is, you can create as many layers as you want, with as many different layer modes as you want. So feel free to experiment around and see what you can create. The second way of coloring in your work is with the help of clip layers. And now clip layers are a lot like your regular layers with regular layer modes and regular layer mechanics. However, they have one small trick up their sleeves which makes all the difference. Which is to say that all information that is present on a clip layer only applies to the layer it's clipped to. What that means for us is that we can, for example, create one base layer and then clip one or many other different layers on top of it to color it in. This becomes extremely practical when you're working on very heavily stylized images like comics, cartoons or manga, but it also is very helpful for pretty much any other kind of painting. So, just like before, we are creating a new layer, and by pressing Ctrl-Alt-G, we turn it into a clipping layer for the base we created beforehand. Now, we can apply all kinds of colors over it, without ever having to worry about overdrawing the lines. Since again, any kind of colors, any kind of content we add to the clipping layer only applies for the base under it. You can even go ahead and combine this approach with creating a grayscale base first, again mining only lighting, contrast, etc., and then coloring in the rest of the painting through a new clipping layer. Set it on multiply or any mode you want, and go right away at it. Best thing about all of this is, you can create as many clip layers as you want, with as many modes as you want yet again. But for fuck's sake, keep it organized. I'll keep this one mercifully short because frankly I almost feel like I'm cheating just including this one. And because frankly all you do for this one is, well, you paint. You have one layer or several layers and you just paint on top of them like you naturally would on a normal regular canvas. It's a really good approach that you want to take when you plan on doing speed paintings or quick concept sketches. However, if your artistic fundamentals are not quite up to snuff or you are simply not confident enough in your use of software, you can go ahead and create new layers to help you out. And those layers would then become, so to speak, the steps of the painting that you took. And if you feel uncomfortable with the way the painting progressed at some point, you can go ahead, delete that layer, and you'll be back at the step you were before. That way you have basically eliminated a change of the painting that you didn't like in the end, without completely destroying the painting in the process. Because let's be real, even for a spit paint, that'd be a damn shame.